one of the best podcasts ever. Ever. Top 5 dead or alive.
Welcome to Caviar. I'm your host, Tony, in the Ministry of Silly Talks with Graham in the building as usual. How you doing, sir?
Sapnin'.
I had to take a week off because I went out west. We're going to do this video thing again. So for those of you who will see this video, hey.
Hi there.
Hey.
And this is the first time we've ever tried this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the first time we ever did this and everything.
Oh,
yeah.
you want these lights on? You're shooting a video.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, hey, man, I'm sorry, I left the lights on.
Yeah, nah, it's fine. We got the NFL season starting today. I know I took a week off last week. I had to go out west for some business. So that episode will actually be posted before this one because it was a really great episode. I don't really want to shelve it. But I liked, we take a week off. We have one in the bag.
Yeah.
And so we get extra time to do stuff. So
you could maybe even hold on to last week's and post this one and just have it for if you have a gap
that's
before.
true. Hey, man, hey, last week's episode was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was I'm not gonna ruin it, but the flow from start to finish and the topic was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we were able to do that. So
For sure.
Before we get started, the shirt of the episode is the Outlive Your Enemies. That's what I have on. You can get this at shirtcaviar.com. Penguins will be our greatest ally in our war against dolphins.
Amen.
If this is your first episode of Caviar that you're listening to, you got to go back.
Yeah.
You got to go back. At least listen to season 4, and then you'll understand exactly why. Actually, listen to season 3 too, because
I don't know.
You'll get it.
On one of our podcasts, there was like the catalyst, where we discovered that both of us knew what the fuck dolphins were up to.
Exactly, and then from there on, it was like listen to the One Gram Army podcast and Caviar. You need to subscribe to both of those podcasts. We are giving everybody a lot of great content week in and week out for free, and
I know where this is going.
As always, if you don't subscribe, we are coming to you and we're going to force you to subscribe.
Personal meet and greets.
One person is going to be left alive. The other ones,
look, that was an initial mistake
y'all
on our part.
pushed us to this level, okay?
That was an initial mistake on our part.
Yeah.
Was, going to people who hadn't subscribed and not leaving someone to explain what happened.
Right.
Because otherwise, all you're left with is like
and you brought that. I didn't even think about that.
Just people disappear. The apartment's pristinely clean, freshly bleached. There's but there's just nothing. Nobody.
We Jimmy Hoffa
dogs.
people. We've Jimmy Hoffa'd a lot of people.
Yeah, for not subscribing.
So just subscribe. It's free.
And
it's free.
These people aren't coming to us and being like, "Fuck you, you're not going to do shit. I'm not going to subscribe." We're talking about just we understand how many subscribers we have and how many people there are.
Yeah.
So 100% of people who haven't subscribed are potentially going to get a personal meet and greet.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yep.
And you need to subscribe. You need to go to shirtcaviar.com, and then you need to spend money in that store. It is 24/7. It's open 24/7. Shirtcaviar.com. You got the 2019 collection. You got the 1 Gram Army official T-shirt.
That's right.
You got the Outlive Your Enemies and so many more. You got the lizard people. Yeah, you are. Yeah. You definitely are. Yeah. You got that. You got so many of. You got the lizard person, the lizard people shirt, which we just sold one of. You have the Pod Caviar official shirt. You got the 1 Gram Army official shirt. You have so many shirts on that website, And for the 2019 collection, now is the time to buy it, because once 2020 hits and the 2020 collection hits, then the 2019 collection goes away, and those are the ones, the most popular ones that will get retroed. And then, you know, if you're a fan of shoes and you understand, or remakes from Hollywood movies,
absolutely,
these things go away. They're not always going to. One of the best things that you can do to up your value as a company, if you sell a product, is to limit the availability of your product, and then control when it gets released and when it doesn't get released. And we've already, at shirtcaviar.com, we already have some shirts that have been retroed from previous collections. So we have the They Will Never Love You, the No Gods, No Masters collection. Vanity is good. What we're doing now is we are full speed ahead. I've talked about this on podcast episodes before. I've talked about this online, on Twitter and everything. 2020 is a big year for Shirt Caviar, because we're going to send shirts into space. We're going to send Tommy Stratosphere shirts into the stratosphere, the literal stratosphere. And no other company is doing that. No other shirt company is doing that, especially not one that doesn't have a great corporate backing. Like we have. The means, and because of the support, we have everything that we need to make this happen. And in 2020, we're going to do it big. We already went international. And look, I will say this: in the beginning of 2019, I just had the one goal is to sell a shirt to somebody I've never met before. We smashed that record. And 2019 has been great for Shirt Caviar, and then we got to go bigger. Then I already put the name Shirt Caviar already has a ticket to be to go along with the next Mars rover. So. And this is official. This is NASA tweeted this shit, and I signed up for it. So Shirt Caviar is going to Mars, and we're leaving Earth,
going to the stratosphere first, probably.
Yeah. So we sold to people that we never even met before. We broke outside of that bubble. We went international.
Nice.
And now we're going extra planetary. So.
Well, and
that's huge.
Those Tommy Stratosphere shirts that have been in the stratosphere, literally, you can really stunt on somebody and be like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt." Has that been in the stratosphere?
Yeah,
before?
has that left the? Or has that been to the stratosphere?
That's just always been pretty dependent on this level of air pressure.
Yeah,
that shirt.
That's
like,
crazy. That's
a shame.
That's cute, but.
Or if someone's like, I wore this shirt to the top of mounts, to into the Himalayas to Everest. I wore this shirt.
Okay,
that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. You're still on the ground though.
Yeah.
But guess what?
This shirt's been up higher than that.
Yeah, we've been way higher than that. So, hey. This episode is about the start of football season, NFL, fantasy football. We're going to talk about season 5. We're just going to have a nice conversation. This isn't off-season content, but this is an episode of season 4. But
maybe season 4, the epilogue.
Yeah.
This would be a good episode.
It's a nice commentary on it tonight. This week is not season 1, but the first week of the newest season of the NFL. Week 1, where we've been following the game so far, and I don't know, man. We talked about it on your podcast about how the NFL has changed for years and everything, and
go check that out.
Check out the latest episode of One Gram Army podcast, and we were talking about how it changed so much, and how the NFL got so big, and how now it's like they want to be the family friendly sport, but still with the big hits and the big injuries.
Right.
And even today, as week 1 has started, we've seen some pretty big injuries.
Here's an injury we're looking
right
at
there.
Right now.
Yeah. And it's just, you can't make something this violent. This is almost like taking mass shootings and making them family friendly.
It is. Well, it's the gladiator fights.
It is.
You know what I mean? It is. NFL players, it has been understood for decades that NFL players are our modern day gladiators.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
there's no other way to look at them.
Yeah.
And that's why for so long everyone just showered them with praise and threw women at them, and they have a lot of them have a very ungrounded view of their place in the universe.
Oh yeah.
And that is and it's not like, I don't condone it, but it's not unreasonable to expect that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not fucking 6'5", 240 solid. I can't, and I can run a 4 flat 40 and are worth $30 million. But I imagine if you put me in that position, my behavior would probably not be something you would want to share with, like, you know, your kids.
No. And we said that, you know, when you have a guy that has everything handed to him his whole life and he made it to the NFL, and then you see him on a yacht somewhere with a bunch of damn coke and strippers and shit, it's like, are you really surprised about that?
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's just an excuse.
You think that because he's an athlete, a professional athlete, he's getting paid all this money, you want him to be a role model for your kids and all this shit, and it's like, he didn't sign up for that. He signed up to play football, and that's exactly what he's going to do. The money and the endorsements came with it, but he's still the same person that he's always been. So why would you want to push them people and push them and then make them into your mold of how you want
like a
role models to be? Yeah. It's like, no, that's not your role model.
Well, and like you said, they're playing at such an elite level that it's kind of a dumbass thing to like have your kid aspire to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like most of your kids, like I encourage people to play team sports. That's very important. There's no doubt about that.
It is.
You know
a
what
great
I mean?
experience.
Like, and it's like, but the idea that you would press your kid into playing a sport that is going to detrimentally affect them physically and mentally for the rest of their life, pretty much guaranteed, in an effort to think that they will become a professional athlete, and as such, you believe professional athletes should behave in a way that inspire your kid. That's a lot of entitlement.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of fucking entitlement, and and you're definitely ignoring the factors at hand.
Yeah.
And I really literally just thought of this now, and I'm really upset with myself that I never connected these dots. But, you know, ESPN is mostly responsible both for the expansion of the NFL because ESPN is a network about gambling. I don't know if anyone knew that like the ESPN only exists to deliver. The only reason this sports news actually has any monetary value is because of gambling. Yeah. Right? But also ESPN's owned by Disney. Yeah. And I forgot. I didn't even.
Yeah, they are.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. So that's that's the push to family friendly sports events and everything because they are owned by Disney. But you can't, I don't get it, bro.
And also, though, just as a side note, ESPN is the worst at presenting professional sports now.
Yeah. This is what happens when you take something
for football or baseball or basketball. They just really, it's terrible.
This is what happens when you take a company that's supposedly family friendly, quote unquote, as was that Kittle just scored a touchdown. He's on my fantasy team.
Nice.
But you can't take something that's that violent and then put a family friendly company behind it, and then they try to do their thing, and it's not going to work out. This reminds me of that movie.
It's not going to work for either group.
What was the name of that movie? It had Hillary Duff in it, and
what did you just ask me?
No, it has damn, what's the other guy's name? It was called War Inc. That's the name of the movie. Basically,
it does sound familiar.
It was in. It wasn't even in. It was in like a different timeline, but the United States military was sponsored by companies.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You know how NASCAR has every patch for a company that sponsors that car? It was the same way with the military. So tanks had those patches on it. And then
so when they were seen on the news,
John Cusack, that was the main character.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I am familiar with that. But I mean, without the patches though, that's pretty much how the military
it's the same thing
anyway.
Yeah.
That's how we sell the wars.
That's how the NFL has become because of these companies that support it. It's a very violent act to play football. Yeah. And then you have these companies that sponsor it, so they have their the only thing that you don't see is the patches on the jerseys.
Yeah, they're coming.
But like it's happened in the NBA to a small extent. It has happened in the WNBA to a larger extent. Yeah. And it's coming, bro.
I think it has to do with there's not as much opportunity for commercials, but soccer's been doing it globally forever. Like the team's jersey says like Carlsberg Lager on the middle. Like you don't even know what team it is.
Yeah.
It's just
like Manchester United had Chevy emblems on their jersey. Yeah. It's like well, Chevy has a soccer team, and it's like, no, mate, that's Manchester United,
right?
One of the most successful teams in soccer.
Yeah, they're like, this is
like,
is one of the oldest football franchises in the country that invented football, and it's like West Ham or somebody. But you're like, the United Emirates team sure looks good this year.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some fucking soccer fan
because of that,
yelling at me right now.
And because of all of that, that's how they wanted the NBA, the NFL to be, and it's going towards that. Woo.
But that's part of the biggest problem, though, too, with the NFL.
Yeah.
Is there was so much advertising money, and there was so much to be had.
Yeah.
And there was such a push to try to, gentrify the game, for lack of a better term,
That's
as far
true,
as like people who are watching it. That. And not like racially. This is not a racist remark. This is a sexist remark. So like there was an opportunity though there to gender gentrify the fandom of football.
Right.
And what happened was we're seeing that it wasn't good for either group.
No.
It has not improved football.
Nope.
Football is not nearly as fun to watch.
No.
It's way too much of a fucking spectacle.
Yeah.
I do not need to hear NFL stories every day in fucking June.
No.
There's not that much going on.
No.
Fucking stop it.
It's not. And it used to be you have to search and know what sites to go to just to see that. And now it's everybody knows. It's all in everybody's face. And it's just like, it's too much.
It's in mainstream. If I go to read the paper, they're like, the NFL says
like,
this
damn,
year it's gonna blah, blah, blah,
are
blah,
you
blah,
going to
blah.
make war family friendly to where a soldier goes to war? Is his family going to be watching him as he goes to it? I never understood.
Have they
how
not
they
in
done
many
that.
ways now though made war family friendly? Look
They
at all
did,
those
man.
reaction videos.
Yeah, they put that shit
NFL
out there.
is fucking responsible for some of that shit too though. And that's the other thing too. Is like, okay, so there's all this dumb shit that we already assumed about the NFL, and when all that came out, the only thing they did after that was continue to fuck up.
Yeah.
Like then it was like, oh well, they're also taking money from the Pentagon to do these support the troops things.
Right.
Like they're not just doing that because they support the troops. They're recruiting ads.
Yeah.
Subversive fucking recruiting ads for the military.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. So they're taking money for that. Like, and then like, okay, the study, we found out they did know that football caused brain damage. I assumed everybody fucking knew that. And then
how would you not know that, dude?
Yeah, then they tried to cover that up.
Yeah.
I was
like, what the fuck?
like,
what are you covering up? Like, anybody with half a brain cell will know that these guys are getting hit. They're getting rocked. They're going to have some sort of...
They're falling
It's like getting
down.
into an accident, dude. If you get on an accident on 75, God forbid, and you fucking hit it like a divider or some shit, even if you hit another car, if you rear end another car...
tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's the same thing where you're going at a certain speed and then all of a sudden you hit something and then the inside, your organs, they're going to keep moving because that's physics.
Right.
Did you
Same
not
deal
think
with
that
your
it was
brain.
going to? Yeah. Did you not think that was going to happen to any sort of problem? Take
And
your
that's
computers.
not- is that
take your computers
new?
and shake it up like this.
Yeah.
Shake the shit out of it and see how it works. It's going
Right.
to stutter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that and that's not new.
No, it's not.
That's not.
It's not new at all.
That
bruh.
physics is about as old as physics.
Yeah.
The concept.
Yeah.
It's about as old as the concept of people trying to understand the physical world around them.
Exactly.
Was
It's like, what do you want from us, man?
Yeah.
It's like you wanted to be
Like,
so family friendly,
run
but you
really
have
fast
guys,
and stop. You'll notice
Yeah.
there's like some momentum there.
yeah.
You know
so
what I mean?
what do you have now? You have it to where you have these big games, and then they put the cameras on like the families, especially in Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you have a quarterback, and then that quarterback is being featured, and the family is there, and all this shit, what if that quarterback snaps his fucking leg to the point
Right.
to where it's a compound fracture?
Yeah.
And they put the camera on the family, and then the family's all like,
Yeah, what if
shocked
the
and shit.
Joe Theismann accident would have happened on
Right.
fucking...
It's like, why do we need to
football
see
on
that? Why does the
Sunday?
family need to see that? Why do we need to see the family react to that? And they're like, oh my God, it's so bad.
Well, and
it's
it's
so
because
bad. And
it's
like, come
it's
on,
how the
bro.
NFL has been selling
I
itself.
hate that shit, though.
But that's what I'm saying, though. So,
Yeah.
like, during the holidays, though, you see the NFL commercials
Yeah.
for NFLshop.com.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody in the family.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
your hot
Everybody
wife.
has the same hoodie and shit.
Or
and
it's like
I
one
those.
wife's like like wearing a Bears shirt. Yeah. The husband's wearing a Packers jersey. And they're like, oh, come together this holiday season.
Divided but still strong. And they come up with all this bullshit. It's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, if there was a guy who was like a Bears fan and it was a girl, but she wasn't a Bears fan, I mean, I think that he'd probably not, maybe you find somebody else. Or it's if you want to be with me, be a Bears fan.
No.
Or I don't want to fucking hear it.
Or, which was my approach, was if you don't actually care about football, just don't care about football.
Don't give a fuck about football at all.
I do have news for you regarding how Sunday afternoons are going to be around here for a few months a year.
Yeah.
You know, but that's fine. Like, if you don't like football, and usually, too, like, when I was dating and you would like meet women, they'd be like, I'm a Saints fan. And I'd be like, oh yeah, how long you been? Well, last year I was dating these 6 dudes and they were all saying, and I'm like, well, that's fine, but we don't.
Ooh, touchdown Cowboys.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice. Nice. But either way though, like, so, I prefer anybody I meet in whatever capacity, if they don't like football, I prefer that them just say I don't really fuck with football. And I'd be like, okay, well, we won't talk about football.
Yeah.
I won't be like, well, let me talk to you about football.
No.
But if you're like, oh, I pretend to care about football, and then you say things like, they need to figure out a way to make the game safer.
No.
They need to stop these guys
I mean, they did.
acting
you know
crazy.
What? They have because they have helmets and pads now.
Yeah.
Compared to how it first started, when they had like wallets for helmets.
Yeah.
And then now they have
like people would die. Now, let's be honest, people die every year playing football now, but we're talking about like high school kids with heat stroke and shit. And like, college students, who cares about them? But like, I've always assumed though that one day, early in the inception of the sport though, like at one point Teddy Roosevelt, who was like a hard ass, who was in favor of shit like that, considered making the game illegal. Yeah. Because people were dying. Yeah. Playing football. Yeah. And
what they did, they made it safer.
I swear to God, though, I am waiting for like either like a real badly mismatched college football game or an NFL game where like a dude rolls into the pile and his head is like being held by somebody and his body keeps turning. Ooh. It's like I've seen it in my head.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
We've seen
I've seen that.
We've seen that shit with like the knees and shit where you grab somebody by their leg. And then they keep turning, and then their leg is destroyed, their knees are destroyed, all their fucking ligaments and everything. And that's even gruesome in itself. We've seen compound fractures. I mean, we've seen all these things. That doesn't mean that the NFL is not safe. It's as safe as it can be.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're talking to a guy that's worked in aerospace for over 16 years.
Running jet engines and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we made it as safe as it can get. It doesn't mean that it's 100% safe because every day I go to work, I get all the incident reports and I see things. That's just part of the job, bro. Yep. We cannot all live in bubbles. We make it as safe as we can, and then we go from there. And it's the same way with the NFL. Yes, people are still going to get hurt. There's still going to be gruesome injuries. Is it going to happen every game? No. Is it going to happen during the season? You goddamn right it will.
And a bunch.
That's just people still get killed in car accidents. And cars are so safe. Now to where, the car will if you're veering outside of the lane, they have cars that will like steer you back into the lane.
Yeah, and that's my deal with the NFL too. Again, going back to them just dropping the ball on everything. Yeah. They've tried to install fucking safety lanes in football when you cannot do it. No. The product will not function. No, if you think that, and if you think that there's like rules you can make that will prevent, and especially if you think the rules you prevent rules you make that will prevent injuries are like babysitting the quarterback, like, well, how come the force out rule came back? Right. Like, you can destroy somebody going up for a ball on the sideline. Yeah. And I remember when they made that illegal. Yeah. And it definitely did prevent a lot of injuries. Yeah. And then
they got rid of that shit.
And then when they put in all these quarterback protection things, they were like, well, I guess we got to hang somebody out to dry. Yeah. Like, it's just the NFL. It's dirty and it's dumb. Yeah. And it makes me not get super excited about watching football.
As far as, for me, if you want a good NFL experience, this is what you have right now. It is as safe as it can be. They tried to tinker with, and I'm a fan of what they did with the kickoffs and shit, to where they moved it back and then, they kick it out of bounds and shit and whatever. But that's it, bro. You give them better pads, better helmets. They've done that. They've made advancements in that. But at the end of the day, you have big dudes, gladiators, and I've seen football players in real life just walking and shit in Baltimore. Like I've seen Ravens players, and they're like, and I'm like, damn, you guys are fucking huge. I'm not a small dude.
Right.
At the same time, those dudes are big as shit, and it's like, okay, well, there you have it.
I remember Warwick Dunn, the running back. I remember I met him in the desert on my first deployment. And he was just in the chow hall, like getting food. And I was with actually that dude Tart. I don't remember Tart, but
I remember
from age.
Tart,
But we were in the chow hall, and like he was like, "That's Warwick Dunn," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Now Warwick Dunn was like a short dude,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
He was like about my height, if not a little shorter than me, and I'm not tall at all.
Yeah.
And the other dude I was with was considerably taller than me, but he looked like a fucking robot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was wearing like a sweater and some jeans, which was also weird considering we were in the desert.
Right,
but he was in the chow hall, and he looked like a fucking like a singularity. He was so dense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like every time he moved, like his whole you could see his muscles rippling through his shirt because he played NFL football.
Yeah, at the highest level of a professional sport. Like,
Right. And he had quite a bit of success.
Yeah, he did.
It's not like a GOAT or anything, but he had quite a bit of success in his career.
Right.
And managed to play football for a very long time.
Yes.
In the NFL.
Yeah.
And is my height. And that's an example.
It is.
Of like.
It definitely is.
You have to be so special.
Yeah.
And all of that's not from going to the gym.
Yeah,
Some
so
of
you
that
do
is
all
genetic.
that training, all those years put in, you get to the highest level, and you can still snap your leg to the point to where your bone is
Instantly.
outside of your skin.
Yeah.
That's just part of doing that.
Yeah.
Dude, if
that
you work
could
in an
happen to you-
office.
that could happen to you in your first game of high school.
Exactly, bruh.
And you'll
you
never
got
play the
Jalen
sport
Smith,
again.
the linebacker that plays for the NFL. He destroyed his knee playing for Notre Dame before he got to the NFL, and the Cowboys still drafted him, and he's still a great player.
Yeah.
But that's just, if you work at the office.
He's gonna be limited at some point because of that injury.
Yeah.
Although NFL players too have that weird thing where there was like, who was the running back from Baltimore? His knee went completely the other way. It was the dude before Ray Rice.
Jamal Lewis?
No, not Jamal Lewis. The other guy.
Shit.
Willis McGahee.
Willis McGahee. Yeah.
Willis McGahee.
Yeah.
I watched he played for the Ravens at the end.
I
right?
think he did. Yeah. I want to say. Yeah. Let's Google that shit.
I'm pretty
because
sure
I'm pretty sure he did.
Knee injury. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sure he was playing for.
3 minutes.
Oh no, this was when he was in college. Yeah. See.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
His knee goes the other way here. Let's see.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll show
Yeah.
it.
It's fucked up.
Look. Oh, watch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so hard to watch.
Oh my god.
Right.
Bro.
So in college, Willis McGahee's knee
Yeah.
went the other way.
Yeah.
Like a fucking chicken.
Yeah. Like
There's
the
nothing
instant. Yeah.
There's nothing left.
literally
there.
the other way.
I can't. Sorry.
That's that movie. That's like that movie Contact. At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was gruesome.
But so anyway, so Willis McGahee's knee did that, and then he had like a pretty solid NFL career.
Yeah.
And that happened to him when he was in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is weird shit like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. But
People need to understand that
that's
there's
some
weird shit
outlier
like
shit,
that will
though.
happen like that in any career field, any job.
Well, yeah, every
you
now
could
and
be
then
working
some,
at a
every now
fucking
and then
office,
some construction
and then
worker
some
falls
shit.
30 stories onto
Yeah,
concrete and then
yeah.
gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, I see all the incident reports, and then we have a protocol that we have to follow.
Mostly
and then
though,
it gets,
people
you
get
know,
fucked up, and if that injury happened to
shit.
if that
That's a
injury
good
happened
one.
to almost anyone else,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
you might not
that's
walk
it. Yeah.
properly.
That's
again.
the end of it. Yeah,
Definitely not. You're gonna go have an NFL
If that happened
career.
to Willis McGahee and he was working at a fucking boiler plant or some shit, his knee was fucked up for the rest of his life, and that was it. And then you had to go from there. But
Yep.
I mean, I'm good with trying to expand the fan base of the NFL, but don't try to change the game because the football
Fuck
is
that.
not baseball.
We're at
Football is not
capacity.
basketball. Yeah, football is not lacrosse
We don't
or
need
any
more
of these other
fans.
sports. You get people that they get hit. You got guys that will run 40 yards in 4 seconds. That's fast, bruh. That's huge. And you have these the offensive linemen that are big, they're tall, they're over 6 feet, and they're like 250, 300 pounds, and they're huge.
Yep.
And then that's just what you have. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What do you expect?
You cannot expect them to play a sport like this, and people don't get fucked
Exactly.
up. But that's the thing I was going to say, though. You sustained that injury Willis McGahee did. Like I don't know, what, 98 out of 100 people's knee go backwards like that, and they never walk again?
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know
I've
what I
had knee injuries before just playing fucking basketball, and then it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, I was lucky enough to recover, but if I'm playing football, then I'm not. It's different playing football, being physical, and then working on aircraft. You know, I mean, it's a different thing. Oh yeah, that's
sorry,
fine.
man.
Yeah, no, I
just in case there you needed like a brief like interlude or whatever.
Nah. I think I'm gonna rant for a couple minutes.
Okay. You want to hear the La Bucket?
Oh yeah, let's do the La Bucket.
Yeah. Just while I go grab beer.
Yeah, all right, we'll be right back.
Are you tired of ruining your clothes with vomit every time someone mentions LeBron?
Sometimes being clutch is being so good through the first 3 quarters of the game that it is not in question in the 4th quarter of the game.
Sick of replacing costly electronics and furniture when LeBron says something like this?
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world.
Or this?
I told you my legacy is bigger than basketball. I've always told you that.
Or this?
I think for me, the worst thing is when I actually go and talk to the ref and they say, it was nothing.
Or this?
And for me, it's even more frustrating because I know how I'm officiated at times.
Then you need La Bucket. La Bucket is a patented system consisting of a comfortable bucket you wear like a backpack in reverse. La Bucket reduces costly cleaning bills that result from the sports media, NBA officials, and the dumbest guy at your job trying to convince you that this second-rate Magic Johnson is the greatest player who ever lived. Get yours today by visiting capfsports.com or by calling 847-665-9238. It's the La Bucket. Never get caught off guard by that idiot at work again. And we're back.
Great episode. A great commercial. I love that shit, bro.
I'm really proud of it. And you know, it's one of those things too that I think went a little too long, but there's just not a lot of fat in it.
You know, this is a great segue because we have a lot of great things that we've done to our podcast since the beginning, and it's just gonna get better. I know I've done some commercials before Caviar episodes. I used to do a little skit here and there.
Oh, I forgot all about those.
Great
man.
shit, yeah.
You need to compile those and give them to me.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
I forgot all about.
Yeah, no,
those,
I can definitely do all that shit. Yeah,
you definitely need to compile them and just give them to me so I have them in one place. Okay, we should start doing that again. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, no, we could definitely do all that shit. Yeah. As a segue into the next topic, season 5, I talked to Graham about it before we started. Season 5 of Pod Caviar is quickly approaching, and we're gonna move away from conspiracies and terrorism and then people in the ADX, and we're gonna go away from the Michael Swango type episodes.
I don't want any more of those.
No,
where we're gonna accidentally ends up where I can't sleep that night.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about movies, and we're gonna take a movie for each episode in season 5 of Pod Caviar, and we're gonna dissect it and talk about how it's important and what we loved about it. And Graham and I have pretty much the same taste as far as movies, so it's something that we can just take a movie, let's say Goodfellas, and then we can talk about that for 30 minutes like it's nothing.
Fuck
you know,
scene by scene.
I mean, it doesn't matter what's Goodfellas, RoboCop, Terminator, any of those days, Independence Day,
an
all that
episode
shit.
of Next Generation.
Oh yeah, Star Trek, definitely, bro. Yeah.
Maybe that'll be when we really finally lose our minds and decide to be like, all right, now we need a third podcast that is equal parts both of us.
Yeah,
we'll just do a Next Generation.
Oh yeah, I'm all with that shit. Yeah,
and literally every episode of the podcast is from season 1, episode 1 to All Good Things, and it's just every episode is a discussion of each one of those episodes of Next Generation until we have to start back over. That shit would be exhausting.
It would, yeah.
Or start there and then go through Deep Space Nine and go through Voyager.
I love Voyager, bro.
Yeah, I do. I really do love Voyager, but I just don't think it's as. I don't think it has the quality of Deep Space Nine or Next Generation. I think
See,
it has the charm
I'm
of
the
Next
opposite, bro.
Generation.
It has a charm of Next Generation, but I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of Deep Space Nine, bro.
When was the last time you did Deep Space Nine?
It's been years.
See, it's on
So,
Netflix.
is it all
Listen,
the episodes on
yeah,
Netflix?
So,
Okay.
Listen, so here's what I suggest. Because I was the same as you.
Yeah.
I was the same as you.
Yeah.
When Deep Space Nine was on TV, I thought it was dumb as fuck. And I
Yeah,
could not
yeah.
get into it.
I couldn't
I
get
thought
into it
it
at
was
all,
super
bro.
stupid.
Yeah.
Right? But when it was on Netflix, like, dude, my love of Deep Space Nine is pretty recent, like the last 5-6 years.
Really?
Yeah, because they put it on Netflix. And my sister kept telling me how good it was. And I was like,
was it the Deep Space Nine come before or after Voyager?
Before.
It was before, yeah.
and there's
okay.
and then there's some overlap.
Okay.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as far as when they were making them. But
Okay,
Deep Space
alright.
Nine is directly after Next Generation.
Okay.
The first episode of Deep Space Nine. All right, over here. The
Okay.
first episode of Deep Space Nine, Captain Picard. You see Deep Space Nine. You see the Enterprise parked at the space station.
Okay.
Captain Picard is in his ready room. Cisco is in there talking to him.
Oh shit.
And Picard is explaining to this dude, like, we know you've been in some trouble. This base orbits Bajor,
Yeah.
which is obviously
Yeah.
a big point of contention,
Right.
Because the Cardassians
Yeah.
were occupying Bajor. The Bajorans, without any help from the Federation, eventually freed their own planet from the Cardassians. There's like a loose treaty between the Federation and the Cardassians.
Right.
But the Federation wants to protect Bajor should they be worthy of entrance into the Federation.
Right.
And Deep Space Nine itself is a former mining colony for prisoners, for basically concentrate. It was basically a concentration camp for Bajorans
Right.
under the Cardassians. So they give it to this dude who's sort of like a guy who's had some problems with the Federation.
Okay.
Picard's explaining all this to him, and at the end the dude is basically like, suck my dick to Captain Picard. And he's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, my wife was killed at Wolf 379.
Oh shit. Okay.
When he was Locutus a Borg.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Borg killed his wife.
Oh,
so that was when that dude was like, fuck the Federation, because you
shit.
just kept letting Picard be a captain of a
Yeah.
spaceship.
Yeah.
And he basically, so Deep Space Nine basically starts with Cisco telling Picard to suck his dick and walking out.
Damn.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where
Okay.
Deep
All right.
Space Nine, and it was an allegory for the whole rest of the series, because Deep Space Nine was like, we're gonna be dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fuck this dude.
Yeah.
But also though, Deep Space Nine keeps it kind of campy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And realistically, if you want to, you could just kind of start within a few episodes of when Worf shows up.
Okay.
Because there's a few seasons where everything's cool, but it's kind of floundery because there's no deep space
shit.
stuff. So then eventually they introduce.
That's when I couldn't get into it,
Eventually they introduce the Defiant so they can go out and do space battles.
Okay, yeah,
and
that's
then
what I
Worf
understood.
Comes
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
And then once Worf is involved and O'Brien's there, the threads are tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Once they got to Defiant, I was like, okay, cool. But before then, I was like, I don't want to watch a show about a fucking space station.
It's gonna be it would be very hard to watch if it was on TV, but
Right.
it's on Netflix.
I'll go check it out.
And like I said, for the first few seasons, if you're in the middle of an episode, be like, fuck this. Because you're really they really didn't start taking themselves seriously and getting real dark with it, and digging back into the past of everyone who's on the space station until later on.
I see, and that's why I like Voyager, because from the start, it was like, oh shit, we're a starship. Here's what we're doing. And then like, oh shit, we're in a Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. So from the start, you were there, and then you're like, okay, well, then I need to figure out how to get back to the Alpha Quadrant. And then every episode was them doing that. They got 7 of 9. And then once they got 7 of 9, me as a fucking teenager, I was like, I'm watching every episode. I'm not missing any of this shit.
She was married to, her last name is Ryan, Jerry Ryan. She was married to George Ryan, who was she's actually from the North Shore, kind of in my neck of the woods of Chicago.
Okay.
She was married to George Ryan, who was the governor of Illinois.
Oh shit!
At the
at
one point, and
I heard
she
about that.
divorced
How
him
that
for
fucking
an absurd sum of money.
Yeah, well, he was on some other shit.
He
wasn't
was.
He? Yeah,
Apparently,
he was
he was
on
like
fucking some eyes wide shut shit.
Yeah, he was, and
almost.
she was not, apparently not at all.
No,
interested.
she didn't want to. It's but you gotta
it was
understand.
Like he didn't test
for
the
me,
waters.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You gotta test the waters with that
Yeah.
shit first before you just jump into that shit. Just because, hey, everybody's different. Not judging anybody, but
Unless she just
you know,
sold
if you're
his
in
ass
it,
out.
maybe that's it.
But
maybe she got sick of it, and
Yeah.
then at the same time, she's like, I tried it, but no, so I'm gonna take half and
No,
you go away.
definitely in my life, as far as like my burgeoning sexuality was concerned, which I'm sure is the concern of most of your audience. But it was like, you know, like Pam Grier, Lisa Turtle, the girl from Family Matters.
Okay.
You know, the girl from Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Okay.
The principal from fucking Steve Harvey.
Show.
All of them.
Oh yeah.
All of them
Yeah,
came
yeah.
into direct competition with 7 and 9.
See, I had the girl from
you know what I mean, though?
Showgirls.
Like
yeah. No. Yeah.
For as far as 7 of 9 was concerned,
Yeah, bro.
like when she came on TV, like, you know, and you're still like formulating these ideas in your head. I feel like that was a bit of a glitch in the system where I was like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah. I had the girl from Showgirls.
She was also from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. She was. The girls from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let's see. What was the name of the girl? Lisa Bonet from fucking The Cosby Show.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. Oh, and then Different World had a few of them.
Yeah, bro. What?
Yeah.
All those shows, man.
I really genuinely believe though that like that was a better way to be exposed to like attractive women than like instantly available pornography.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
like,
we had those, because
we were sort
those
of in
girls were like, they were hot, but at the same time, they had like goals. They were well-rounded
Right.
girls, but
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
they weren't really leaning on their looks. There was more of their accomplishments.
They
And
got
I fuck with that shit.
They got the job because they looked good. They performed because they were actresses.
But even like Lisa Bonet, like I like those types of girls where they're
Oh, yeah.
like, you know, I don't go with the norm and shit. I'm out here, I'm living free, and I'm doing all this shit.
He's out here.
And I'm like, fuck, man, that's hot. But yeah, shit. This is just a preview of season 5 for Pod Caviar. This is some shit that, when I tell you we're going to get into some deep shit, because listen, outside of the podcast, when you don't hear the recording and see us doing this shit, we talk about movies a lot. Like
all the time.
All the pop culture movies, and especially like Ghostbusters and
We've
shit. Like
rushed
we had
through so many movie conversations
I
as if
know.
it's something we can't talk about.
Yeah. So for season 5, we're gonna dig deep into all this shit,
Good.
even if it has to be a part 1 and part 2, and we split it. Fuck it, let's do it, bro.
Good.
But yeah, what's the time? How
I'd
long do
wrap
we have?
this one up probably.
Okay. I know we've been talking, dude. Every time we get into a good conversation, we forget about the time and shit, and then it's like, but that's good shit
that
though.
would be the benefit, though. I mean, if we had the,
yeah.
If we had the ability to do, 3-4 hour podcasts, I can't imagine.
I don't think we'd ever
need
be able
guests,
to do that. Yeah, we got
nobody.
Guests
We
and
could
shit.
sit in here and talk.
We could, yeah.
It would not be listenable.
Yeah,
after
I think that
about
after a
an
while,
hour.
an
hour would be pushing it. That's why we stick with the 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah, 30 minutes is fine, bro. You got to think how
eventually
versatile 30
set
minutes
up-
is.
Eventually, I'm going to set up 2 more microphones over here. I'm going to
Yeah.
figure out how to feed them into this. But
Yeah.
eventually, I'll set up 2 more microphones over there that are like maybe even just like suspended from the ceiling.
Right.
And 2 more, and get a headphone bank and put them over. And then that
Yeah,
way,
and
if
put it
people
on
are
there.
here, they could be over there.
Yeah.
And I'd leave them turned down. But if they wanted to participate, then
Yeah.
they
we
could
had
at
to say
least,
some
and then
shit,
they could
yeah.
at least hear it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I like that shit.
Little studio audience.
That's like a
No, it's
step
not plugged
before
in.
fucking a step before us going in front of a live studio audience and
Yeah.
all that shit.
Yep.
But okay, this has been a great episode. Pod Caviar season 4. This is episode 11 will it be? I'm gonna post the last one about the fucking nuclear rocket.
This is either
And
10
then-
or 11.
yeah, it's one of those ones. But we're
Yeah.
getting to the end
The
of season
epilogue.
4.
It's not an episode. It's an epilogue.
No, it's an epilogue. Yeah, we're getting to the end of season 4, but season 5 is going to be great. If you were worried about the content, if it was going to fall off, it will never fall off.
Nope.
The whole point of starting a podcast is because we always have some shit to talk about and get off our chest, and that's why we're doing this shit.
Yeah, God damn it.
Just how retarded are you?
Yeah. We don't have
Why
a
did you
set.
think something else?
We don't have a set theme that we are constricted to. It's wide open. I mean, this is what it is.
My podcast has a theme.
White power. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Visit
This is what we do.
shortcaviar.com and fund the race war.
Yeah, go ahead and check out shortcaviar.com. And if you wanted to get in touch with us, hit us up at 443-747-1417. You can get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us on Facebook. Just search for Pod Caviar, search for Game Caviar, search for Short Caviar. And follow us on Twitter. I am twitter.com/nothavingit. And you are Twitter
At 1_Graham_army.
Yeah, and it's definitely active on Twitch, Twitter, and every day. I'm active as Game Caviar on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/nothavingit, and you can search on YouTube for Game Caviar. Those are all the videos that started
what
everything.
I am on Twitter again.
What are you on Twitter?
Fuck you. That's my name.
God damn it! I had that fucking bump forever.
Yeah.
And I had to I should have had it ready. Damn it.
Damn.
That was like the one time, because I put that bump on there and it never would have served a purpose until you were like, hey, who are you on Twitter? I could have just fucking.
Oh, my God.
That's my name.
God damn it.
But yeah, this has been a great episode.
It was up to that point where I blew it.
Another great episode of Pod Caviar. I am your host, Tony. Pod Caviar, 1 Gram Army. We are going to take over the world in 2020. Thank you. Subscribe. We love all the support. I'm Tony. This is Graham, and we are out.